Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to week 9 in ENC 1102, post Milton. Want to start by talking a little bit about the hurricane and deadlines and all that stuff. Several people have emailed. I'm not officially changing any deadlines in Canvas because we are a fully online class and it's still going to end at the end of the semester. So I mentioned this last week in an announcement, but if you needed extra time, that's fine. Like, just don't worry about it. You don't need to email me unless it's going to be really, really late. And then, of course, you might want to check in with me. But if you have not turned in what was due 2 days ago, as I am recording this on Tuesday, if you have not turned that in yet, it is certainly not too late to turn it in. And there won't be a penalty. Just make sure that you get it in as soon as possible. And like I said, if it's going to be really late, you may want to reach out and let me know what's up. But it is the literary analysis paper that was based on one of the readings from our last set of readings. We had poetry and drama and nonfiction and fiction. And so you were able to choose whatever you wanted from those lists. You should also by now have turned in all 4 of the accompanying discussion boards. But again, if you lost power last week, whatever, it's fine to go ahead and turn late work in. But we are getting towards the end of the semester. So, time is going to run out at some point. So, if you need any help, extra support, let me know. But otherwise, you don't have to ask for permission this week. It's fine. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go over what's next, so you can keep working and going on to the next items in the course. So as I mentioned, it is officially week 9. So if we look at the calendar, we will notice that we are starting a new module, yay, which is module 3. And essentially, it's going to take up almost the rest of the semester. Module 3, the title is Literature and Life, and you're going to be working with literature still, but you're also going to be working with issues that face us in real life. So let's get into that. The only thing that is due this week is you're going to choose a particular work and post that on the discussion board. Upcoming after that, you will use the same author that wrote that work for a biography, and we will continue down the list. So ultimately, you will write a research paper based on the work of literature that you have chosen. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and look at the module. All right, so module 3, as it says, weeks 9 through 13, so almost the rest of the term. As usual, of course, at the beginning of the module, there is a list of objectives that we are going to focus on. Take a look at those, kind of understand what this module is all about. And then you will get into the activities page, which of course has all of the reading links and lecture notes and lecture videos and all of that good stuff. So there are 2 lectures for this particular module. I would go ahead and watch both of them fairly soon. And then in our LibGuide, you're going to choose one novel, full-length play, or set of poems. And you're going to read and research that work for module 3. So these are longer works of literature, like a full-length novel, a full-length play, so much longer than what we dealt with in the second module. And of course, poems typically are not that long. So if you are really interested in writing about poetry, that's absolutely fine. You can focus on poetry, but you're going to cover more than one poem by the same author. Okay, so let's take a look at the list. Under fiction, we have several novels. One is, of course, American classic, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. We have Jane Austen's Emma, Kate Chopin's The Awakening, Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale. By the way, if you have been watching The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu as a TV series, you cannot substitute that for the novel. It's very different. Zora Neale Hurston, who is a Florida writer, Their Eyes Were Watching God, and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. So these are all fully 100% free, available in the LibGuide. You do not have to purchase a book for any of these. However, if you wanted to buy a book, these are all classic novels that are fairly easily available. So if you work better with a physical copy of a book, I would suggest Amazon, and I would imagine you can find a very inexpensive paperback version of any of these novels without too much problem. Same thing with the plays. If you want a physical copy of the play, you may want to look for those as well. Under drama, we have Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie, William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, Lorraine Hansberry, A Raisin in the Sun, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, and August Wilson's Fences. In terms of poetry, we've got selections by several writers that you are probably familiar with: Maya Angelou, Emily Dickinson, Langston Hughes, Edgar Allan Poe, William Shakespeare, the sonnets by William Shakespeare. And you'll notice with Keats and Wordsworth, I have them listed together. They are both romantic British Romanticism, important poets there. It's the one case where you could use poems by more than one person. So you don't have to. You could focus on Keats or Wordsworth, but I left that one open in case you wanted to cover both of them, which you can. So when you're ready, of course, you have the Module 3 assessments and assignments. You've got a link to the Library Citation Center, the assignment guide, reviewing of literary criticism, which we looked at in the last module. You've got, of course, the LibGuide link, as well as MLA Basics. You've got a sample research paper and a sample PowerPoint, because one of the other assignments you're going to do in this unit is a presentation as well. And so the timeline is, in week 9, you're going to choose what you want to write about. So you might want to do some background research on all of them and kind of make your decision based on that. And then in week 10, you're going to turn in a biography of the author. That, of course, will involve research. You do need to look up information about their lives. And then the short abstract on the historical and social context of the work is due in week 11. All 3 of those are going to be submitted via discussion board post. And then the longer paper, the more official assignments, you will have the oral presentation, which is due in week 13, along with the longer literature research paper, which is due in week 13 as well. So you've got 2 weeks to work on those. I've got information here about effective presentations. You may or may not want to have a person help you record your presentation. So I've got a lot of information and options on that as well. And I'm perfectly happy to share some additional information with you about how to do that. My personal suggestion is to utilize Zoom, just like I'm doing now, because it will allow you to do the share screen so you can show your PowerPoint and yourself at the same time. You do have to be visible in the presentation. This is not just a narrated PowerPoint. You are presenting the information. So I also highly suggest, once you create the video, that you upload it to YouTube. And that way you can just turn in a link. If you try to record and share the MP3 directly in Canvas, sometimes it's a huge file. And so sometimes it doesn't work depending on your bandwidth and your internet connection. It will eventually go through, but a lot of people really freak out and struggle with that. You can certainly submit something in YouTube and keep it as forget what the terminology is. Private, it can't be private because I can't see it. Unpublished, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. No, it's not unpublished. I'll remember it at some point. Or you can make it public, but all you'd have to do then is send me the link, even if it is unlisted. That's what it is. If it's unlisted and I have the link, I can still watch it. Okay. You will also submit the actual PowerPoint that you use. If you don't want to use PowerPoint, you certainly can use Google Slides if you prefer. I use Google Slides a lot more now than I ever did before. And I've gotten really used to using them. I kind of like them sometimes better than PowerPoint. It just depends. But that's what's happening during this unit. So really the only thing you need to concentrate on this week is to choose what you want to write about. And so in the LibGuide, we'll go ahead and go there. You will notice that under longer readings, they are divided by novels, drama, and poetry. So here are all the novels that I just mentioned. They are all listed here. And as usual, the librarians have also supplied you with the author biography and critical analysis sources. So when it comes time to write the paper, you've already got some sources available to you. And even when you write the biography for next week, you can use the author biography that is provided. Under drama, same thing. Each one of the plays is listed separately, and there's also additional help, including in some cases video. Not all of them have video, which I think Fences is the only one that doesn't, but they do have author biographies and critical analyses available. And then finally, last but not least, we have the poetry selections. And in each case, we have multiple poems for each of the authors. Like I said, if you wanted to do Keats and Wordsworth, you could combine them. Otherwise, you're just focusing on one author. But again, there's media, there's author biographies, there's critical analysis, there's all kinds of helpful things right here in the LibGuide. So take a look at those, make a decision. You have to commit this week to what you want to do. And then you're going to post that on the discussion board. So if we go to the assignments page or back to the modules, let me just go back to the modules. That's easier. And you will have the assessments and assignments page in this link. All of them are right here for the choice of work discussion board. After reviewing the list of possible readings for this module, write a short essay on how you went about choosing a work, which work you chose and why. And I see that folks so far are doing it as an uploaded document. That's fine, but you don't have to have it in Word format. If you want to, you can just copy and paste that onto the discussion board directly as well. Okay? So that's what's due this week. And if you have any questions, of course, as usual, please reach out and I will talk to you next Monday or Tuesday if I get behind again like I did this weekend with the hurricane. Bye, everybody.